Buffalo Bills have some striking advantages versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin reportedly considering a break from head coaching or coaching in the NFL after this season. Pittsburgh Steelers ultimately wanted to extend Mike Tomlin, but Mike Tomlin somewhat refused, saying that he wants to maybe consider taking a temporary break. But I think this is an advantage for the Buffalo Bills. It appears that Mike Tomlin is just kind of worn out a little bit. Now, I did think of it the other way as like, oh man, this could be Mike Tomlin's last head coaching game as a head coach in the NFL, but the facts are here is that Mike Tomlin doesn't even know the answer himself. He could come back, he might not. I think there is something there that Mike Tomlin is a little bit worn out. He's considering a break, similar to what Leslie Frazier did at the end of last season for the Bills. And with all the bickering going on, saying the window is closed and that we should get rid of Sean McDermott, I think the Bills still have more urgency than the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though Mike Tomlin, this could very well be his last head coaching game for the Steelers. The next advantage for the Buffalo Bills, which I discussed in my previous video, is the fact that they are horrible defensively on third down efficiency. You could literally see right here that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the bottom of the barrel in third down efficiency on defense. They rank 21st overall in the NFL. And when you look at the Buffalo Bills' third down efficiency on offense, we are the best in football, number one, getting first downs nearly half the time at 49.77%. The reason why this is such an advantage for the Buffalo Bills is because we know how physical of a game this is going to be by the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially running the football with Najee Harris and this offensive line. Third down efficiency for the Buffalo Bills should allow long sustained drives, meaning that we're going to win the time of possession versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. You want your players fresh late in the game to protect themselves from the physicality. When they're huffing and puffing or a little bit winded, going against a physical style team like the Pittsburgh Steelers just makes it even easier for them. The next advantage the Bills have is clearly Mason Rudolph. And before we get into the stats, I just need to discuss that Mason Rudolph is not a quarterback that could throw the ball all across the field all game long. He doesn't have the arm talent as Josh Allen. He doesn't have the arm talent as Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. Plus, when you take a look at the size of Mason Rudolph, yes, he's taller at 6'5", 235 pounds, but he's not a scrambling, extend the play, running type quarterback like we've faced in the past with Jalen Hurst, Easton Stick, even Sam Howell earlier in the year, and Tyrod Taylor. We know Mason Rudolph is going to have to stay in that pocket when he does throw it, and if he does escape from the pocket, it's not like he's a dangerous threat. When you look at the stats for Mason Rudolph, specifically this year in 2023, he's played in only 4 games. Not a ton of experience so far. You know, everyone hyping about Joe Flacco, and we saw him take a loss yesterday throwing 2 pick sixes. But we could see he's played in 4 total games and only 74 passing attempts. You could even see here in 2021, he played in 2 total games, and he actually had 58 total passing attempts. So it goes to show you that they're hardly even passing the ball with Mason Rudolph. Then you take a look at the touchdown to interception ratio. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. So yes, he is taking care of the football, but in 4 games, he's only thrown 3 touchdowns. And in 4 games, he's been sacked 6 times, going against a prolific Buffalo Bills defensive line. Mason Rudolph has gone against the Baltimore Ravens, the Seahawks, the Cincinnati Bengals late in the year without Joe Burrow, Indianapolis Colts, and we know that really only other team here is the Baltimore Ravens that have a very high sack total this season. Everyone else, not so much. So the Bills should definitely be able to pressure Mason Rudolph, especially if we get up in this game by a couple or more possessions. So the facts are the Steelers are going to have to run the football because of the lack of talent at quarterback with Mason Rudolph. And you take a look at what the Buffalo Bills have done defensively in stopping the run, and the addition here with Linval Joseph, Daquan Jones coming back the past couple games. I think this is a huge boost for the Bills, but even without Daquan Jones for the majority of this season, bringing in Linval Joseph extremely late. And with all that being said, the Buffalo Bills are still top 15 in opponent rush yards per game, allowing 110.6 yards. Also, the Bills are the 11th best in the NFL in allowing rushing touchdowns. And I know this stat here, opponent yards per rush, were towards the bottom in the league in this statistic. But really, the teams that we have struggled against are the teams that get creative offensively. They have a lot of eye candy. There's a lot of motion pre-snap. They use unique style plays, but the Pittsburgh Steelers offensively, especially with the new offensive coordinator, they have really simplified things, utilizing 3 tight end sets, additional offensive linemen. They're just one-on-one matchup running the football. There's not a lot of creative genius going on that offensive side of the ball. I truly believe the Bills are not going to be confused in this game. We're going to be able to line up and we're going to be able to ball out. Next advantage here is Josh Allen playing in cold weather games. This article breaks it down flawlessly, talking about the effectiveness of Josh Allen in a freezing environment. You can see this article was written before the Miami Dolphins game, and we know that we won that game, but it says that Josh Allen played 4 games this season where temperatures have fallen below 40 degrees. Allen has won 3 of those 4. Now we all know that we beat Miami, and it is 4 of 5. Even in years past, Allen has averaged 205.6 passing yards, a 54.4% completion percentage rate, and a 78.3 rating in 5 games below 40 degrees last season. We also averaged 26 points offensively. Before the broadcast of yesterday's playoff games, we heard Chris Sims and other players talk about how amazed they were with Josh Allen's ability to throw it in the snow and high wind. They said their jaws were dropped seeing how the ball came out and how tight of a spiral he was still thrown with. I've been saying it since Josh Allen was drafted. He was born for Buffalo. It's easy to say that TJ Watt being out is an advantage for the Buffalo Bills, which it is, but this really affects the entire Pittsburgh Steelers defense going against this Bills offense. Yes, the Bills are number 1 in the NFL, allowing the fewest sacks. You couple that with TJ Watt being out, they are clearly not going to have the same pass rush as they would with him in the lineup. And why that affects them so much is because the Pittsburgh Steelers is a physical style defense. They are not known for speed, so they really rely on that front end pass rush to force quarterbacks to get the ball out extremely quick. Now, if they don't get the ball out quick, if Josh Allen can extend the play, then it really puts their linebackers, their cornerbacks, their safeties, which are slow, in a bind because they are not getting the ball out quick. They're not going to be able to run alongside our receivers for that long. When you have a top-notch defensive line and an elite pass rush, the quarterback is really forced to get the ball out quick, and it helps the back end of that defense, meaning that they're not going to have to run around for an awfully long time in coverage. They're expecting the ball to come out. Just like how Sean McDermott times our pass rush with the coverage, Mike Tomlin and his defense does the same. But if TJ Watt is not there, coupled with the Buffalo Bills' best offensive line and pass blocking in 2023, this means that Josh Allen's going to be able to extend the play. It's going to allow our wide receivers more time to create space from these slow defenders on the Steelers. And another advantage that we have here is Mr. Levi Wallace. We all know Levi Wallace with his time here with the Buffalo Bills, working alongside Sean McDermott for several seasons. We know Sean McDermott understands Levi Wallace's deficiencies. We're going to be helping out our wide receivers and how to beat him. You know, Gabe Davis is out this game, but the last time we played the Steelers, Gabe Davis hit him for a huge home run. Now, they do have Patrick Peterson, and Mike Tomlin might opt to put Patrick Peterson opposite of Joey Porter, who's likely going to be matched up on Stephon Diggs. And Chris Brown and Greg Cassell on One Bills Live this week spoke about the underbelly of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. A lot of success from opposing teams' tight ends going against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And I think this is a huge advantage for the Buffalo Bills, knowing that we have not only Dawson Knox this year, but we have Dalton Kincaid. He's no more a rookie. He's blossoming. He's turning into his own. Mixing between 11 and 12 personnel, finally winning without Stephon Diggs having extreme success. We've seen the past 11 weeks Stephon Diggs not going over 100 yards, but the Bills have won their 6 of their 6 last games. Why is that? Because we finally have another option to Stephon Diggs, whether it's Khalil Shakir, whether it's Dalton Kincaid, whether it's this running attack with Osiris Torrance, Connor McGovern, and James Cook really starting to blossom. Leonard Fournette is rumored to be playing instead of Latavius Murray too, because Leonard Fournette has more of a choppy foot balance than Latavius Murray. But either way, in this cruddy weather game, the Buffalo Bills have a ton of advantages against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I do think Sean McDermott, knowing Mike Tomlin, all the way back to William and Mary, definitely plays into our advantage. The Bills have had a ton of success against the Pittsburgh Steelers in years past. I think mainly because Sean McDermott understands Mike Tomlin and what he's all about. Both Sean McDermott and Mike Tomlin breed a culture, a DNA, a mindset. But I want to hear from you. What advantages did I leave out? Comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting like and subscribe. That's how you're going to support my efforts for this channel. If you want to support me further, check the link in the description for the Buffalo Chicken Wing merch. We have hoodies, long sleeve, blue, red, gray, black, free shipping in sizes small through 5XL. But I truly appreciate you guys all so much. This is going to be a wild game with the game moving. Maybe this does play into the Buffalo Bills' advantage. Sean McDermott basically undefeated off a bye week. And baby, we all know he's going to have some extra preparation going against the Steelers. Appreciate you guys all so much. Hit like, subscribe, and go Bills.